I'm so glad that you take care of entertaining yourselves when we're not around. That is really a blessed thing. We do not have to worry about it all. So I think everybody else has got it, except that Melissa came in and said second. Oh, then Nico says, Orange, you glad I didn't say first. Get it?
I do get it.
I get it. I'm going to use the restroom.
Okay.
We just rolled in. We were out playing disc golf. We'll tell you all about it, but we ran in here and hit the stream button.
Should I wait for you to tell them all about it?
No, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can entertain them with it all.
So we're both a little soggy. We went to play disc golf and we thought, well, plenty of time and we can just leave at 6:15. No problem. And then we didn't instead, whatever. But while we were in the middle of disc golf, just before the middle of disc golf, hole 7, we heard this whooshing sound, and it sounded like a very heavy wind. And instead, when we looked through the trees, what we saw was a wall of fucking water. So a bunch of us ran. Let's see, there were 5 of us. Keith and Chris and I saw it first, so we ran to the nearby playground and hid under the slides. I was very smart. There was no room for Trey and Eric. Trey then realized that his sunroof was open, so he ran to the car to fix that. And then Eric just stood in the rain. And then we all ran to the overhang by the ice cream shop at Burke Lake Park and hung out there for a while. And the rain passed really quickly.
Did
so
you tell
we
them?
went back.
Did you tell them how I Mission Impossibled myself under the the twisty slide?
He just slid straight under the...
I have determined, I've always wondered in emergencies how I would react. And this is definitely not an emergency or necessarily a indication of that. But I was proud of myself because basically my brother was like, what's that sound? And I looked up and I saw this wall of rain coming and I was like, huh? Oh, there's a playground. I'm just going to run over there. I just instantly started dashing over there and I noticed that the platforms themselves had holes in them. And so I was like, well, the slide doesn't, and slid under the slide. And yeah, I stayed relatively dry. I was pretty impressed that.
But then we ran to the ice cream shop and got a little soggy.
A little wet, but it wasn't that bad.
My back is a little wet.
Oh, is it?
No. Okay, so for today, I have to write in all these damn names.
Trey says, yeah, you bailed on Eric and me. I mean, it wasn't like I was...
Survival of the fittest, yo.
Yeah, I wasn't responsible for you. I wouldn't be like, hey, Eric and Trey, you guys should probably get out of the rain.
And then later on, we heard... One of us looked up and said, ooh, look at that lightning. And before we could get out the word lightning, this enormous crack of thunder that stopped your heart went off.
There was one that went off, we saw the lightning and it happened almost instantaneously. It was less than a second.
Nobody said first.
Orange, you glad I didn't say first? Is what Nico said. I don't know if you want to count that or not.
I will.
Okay.
So Melissa got second. Danny got third.
Yeah, it was great because Eric had just thrown the disc or something like that. And suddenly we saw the flash and then the really loud thunder that happened almost instantaneously, less than a second. And but it was behind Eric, so I don't think he saw the flash. And that boom came in and he ducked down like it was nobody's business. It was he had flashbacks of Nam. It was yeah, he was saving his own life on that one. It was pretty good, but overall we had a good time, and we got a little wet, but that's fine.
Craig is asking the important questions. Did we get ice cream? Keith got some moose tracks.
Yes, I did. I determined that while we were sitting under the overhang, that obviously our Lord and Savior wanted me to have some ice cream.
Yes, Nico, we will teach you how to play disc golf.
Come down and we'll play disc golf. It's perfectly fine. All levels are welcome.
I'm fucking terrible.
And we hardly rib her at all about it. Right?
They mostly joke about me when I actually do a good thing.
Yeah.
They don't joke about me when I do a bad thing.
Danny says, I'm glad that Jesus and God told you what ice cream to get. I mean, obviously, Moose Tracks is the flavor of the divine.
What's Moose Tracks? Is that like Tin Roof Sunday?
So there's a story where you're walking along the beach and you see two sets of footprints. One is Moose and another is a man's. And then suddenly, right, is you don't see any moose tracks. And the moose is like, where did my tracks go when things got hard? And Jesus is like, well, I carried you, moose. And that's how moose tracks came around.
So you're saying I should Google it?
It's got some like chocolate, like solidified chocolate ribbon kind of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got little like truffles with caramel in them.
Oh, caramel. I thought it was peanut for some reason.
Oh, maybe. And then it's got vanilla ice cream.
I did take one bite of Keats ice cream, even though I'm not supposed to be eating sugar. And I got vanilla ice cream with like a fudge ribbon, which was delicious.
Mm-hmm. My favorite tasteless humor lightning story ever was when I was on the phone with my friend Mike, and he said, "Oh, lightning!" And the call immediately dropped. I should have been concerned, but I 100% thought, well, he was fun.
And went about my business.
I mean, what are you going to do? Call him back?
Nico, I know both you and Craig, and I can confirm the two of you are kindred spirits.
But yeah, that was good. It's so localized looking at the radar system. Yeah, no, we were on the edge of it, and there were other parts of this park. It's a pretty big park that I'm pretty certain we're getting trounced by rain. But where we were, it was sunny. But we could like look and just see the thunderclouds.
And for the record, we got a tiny sprinkle on the way there, and I was like, oh, I'll check the radar. Literally nothing on the radar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I normally joke with my atheist agnostic friends when they start telling me stories about the big JC. I take one big step back. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't get it. Maybe you don't get it because I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
We have 7 people. I just want to go on the record.
We're almost there.
Oh, lightning
bolt.
Oh. I get it. I get it now.
I get it.
I didn't get it because I was an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Right? Because lightning comes down. Yeah, no. Caitlin had an amazing throw from probably, what would you say, about 12 feet out?
Yep.
That was pretty impressive.
For me.
And her face was even more amazing because she threw it and it went in. And then she just did this. She was like, and looked at us like, did you see that? Did you see that? Like, we're all looking at it. And she's like, did you guys, did everyone
No
see
one
that?
was more surprised than I was.
We're like, yeah, no, that was really, really good. Yeah, but did you see it? Yeah, we were watching.
Is there a brand of disc you should look at? The ones we have are Nova disc, I think. They're...
Yeah, no, you could come out with just, I would actually start with just a regular Frisbee.
If you happen to have a Frisbee about, start with that. Mm-hmm. And you can do things like if there's not an actual disc golf course near you, you can just say like, okay, that tree over there, that's the goal.
Yeah.
And whoever hits that tree, you count your number. Oh, you gave your Frisbee to your friend's dog. Okay.
Well,
they're a different Frisbee, Craig.
Yeah, so you don't have to use any particular Frisbee, but there are Frisbees that are made that have things that they're better at doing and worse at doing, right? And so a normal Frisbee, right, if you're just playing out on the sand and things like that, I think is less stable, I think is what it is. So it's more likely to tilt and stuff like that. It's more likely to catch kind of drag from the air. And so you have things called like drivers, right? Or like, fairway kind of discs. And they're very thin, right? They're like almost like discus, right? And those are more likely to not veer, right? And they're more likely to cut through the air. So go for a longer distance if you throw them straight and flat. And then they have other ones that like are you can kind of, your putters and stuff, you can kind of manipulate them a little bit more and have them curve more and stuff like that, where like I think a driver doesn't really want to turn that much. I could be wrong about that, because I grabbed a set because I think they were on sale when like Modell's was going out of business or something like that, and so I just went and picked up a couple sets because we were thinking about doing this, and so we grabbed a couple sets with a bag. Let's see. Oh, this is a cat with laser eyes on a disc. Yeah, that would absolutely work. I don't know what's the difference between each of the names that they have. I assume that there's probably different like angles and stuff that it's right for. If you're a professional, right? Like if you're somebody who actually goes and competes at a high level, you'll have like 10 different discs. And they'll be for like, well, if the fairway is leaning off to the right, you'll use this disc because it's more likely to kind of roll that direction, and these different types of things. You might have ones that are better for your forehand and some that are better for your backhand.
If you're like me, you just use one throughout the entire thing because
Yeah.
I'm not very good. And so it's not really going to matter that much. I have some bad news.
What's that?
It's 7:17.
Oh, no.
We have 7 people.
And we started late. So you would think that people would have gotten in here. None of the ratings on the disc mean the same thing with different brands. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't really think about that. But yeah, I think if you wanted to just buy a Frisbee that you would play with at the beach or something like that, that would be fine. At least for the first, dozen times that you go, right? Because I don't think you're going to be like, man, I really wanted that to fly further and straighter. It's more like you're going to get a sense of like how to throw. And honestly, the standard ones tend to be a little more forgiving, I think. I feel like that's the case.
Hi, Shaggy. Did you see the color I put in the studio?
I've noticed that you've gone with pink.
For my pink eye.
Oh my goodness, you have pink eye?
No, not really.
Because it's supposed to match your eyes today.
Yeah.
I
have laser eyes like the cat.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
But yeah, go check it out. You'd be surprised if you do a search. There are a lot of actual disc golf places like around. They're usually not like, advertised. They're usually very cheap or free, depending, like a lot of like public parks will have it. So if you're from that county or something, it'll be free for you to get in. That's the way it is with Burke Lake Park. So anybody in Fairfax County can go in and get in, and it's free. If you're out of town, I think it's $5 or something like that to get in for the day. And they have other things other than just disc golf. But yeah, I'm going to get good at this and start a new disc golf group. Yeah, you should. That's fine. I don't see anything like there's nothing that would prevent you from being able to do nude disc golf. I will also say, I don't know, Nico, if you guys go, do you have like a colony or a resort or something that you go to or some place like that? Because if you do, they also do sell mobile, like fold up disc golf holes. They're baskets, really. So we have 2 of those on our land. And they fold up like camping chairs, right? And then you can move them wherever you want. You can set them up. They're very easy to set up. It takes, 10 seconds. And then you can pick that one up and move it somewhere else. And we got 2 so that we've been playing disc golf on the land in a fun way because some people don't enjoy disc golf. And so what we would do is the person who doesn't enjoy disc golf,
Peter,
usually Peter, gets to ride the ATV around and set up holes, which is fun. And then we played.
Explain how the ATV is involved in setting up a hole.
Well, there's 2 different ways. I think when we had Peter do it, we had both the holes out, and we would start throwing to one of the baskets, right? And then he would pick up the last basket and move it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then when we finished that basket, we would start throwing to the next basket. He'd pick up the basket we just finished and move that somewhere else. And so that's one way to do it, and that's a lot of fun. The second way we've invented is we have a wagon. Yeah, I guess I was going to say a trailer. We have a trailer for our ATV, and what we'll do is we will strap the whole the basket, right? Set it up and strap it down onto the trailer. And then somebody can drive it around and park the ATV. And so in that case, a lot of the times that's when there's somebody who doesn't want, who like everybody wants to participate. And if everybody wants to participate, then essentially somebody goes and sets it up. Usually the person who either won the last hole or lost the last hole, however we decide if it's something you want to do or not want to do. So they go set up the hole, and then they jog back to the beginning, where the last hole was, where the hole used to be, and or the basket was. And then you start and you throw to the basket, and then somebody, takes the ATV and moves it somewhere else and then runs back. And so, yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's see. Nude handless disc golf. Are you throwing it with your genitals? Is that the idea? I don't think I could throw a disc with my genitals, I'll be honest.
Definitely down for the next land trip, as long as the kittens are okay by then, because this poop situation is not okay.
What poop situation? What?
The kittens poop all the time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's disposable income. Okay, we should look at the shares.
You could also what if you just brought a cage and you put, like, we could set up a playpen for the kittens on the land. You could roam around inside, like, you could have one of those, like, kid playpens with some type of top on it.
Yeah.
And they probably, I'm like 97% sure they wouldn't be eaten by a bear.
I mean, I wasn't.
So there we go. Well, let's see. Trey says $10 for non-county. Okay, not anymore, but we did. Monsters. Why are we monsters? What?
She's saying the people who don't like frisbee golf are monsters.
Oh, okay. Craig says, so he was your minion. I guess really it was that he got to run around with an ATV through the woods, and he really enjoyed doing that. So
yeah, I think he was smoking a cigar at the time.
Yeah. Nika says, now I'm in an Amazon disc golf hole. It can happen. Oh, they do have a playpen. They can do that. There you go. There's some fleas and ticks out there. That's true. You might need to wash them down and make sure that, spray them with something first. Let's see. Went to college with a frisbee golf course in the mid 2000s, says Danny. That's very cool. All right, everybody. That is the show. Unfortunately, not enough people. We're going to post some stuff up in the Another Wasted group on Facebook to discuss what we want to do moving forward. We've got a few ideas. One would be like moving past season 20. Whenever we don't have enough people for a particular day of the week, we would cancel that day of the week. We've thought about just having more of a schedule that is open. Like maybe we'd continue doing this on a daily basis, except for the days that like we didn't want to.
Hockey days.
Yeah, like hockey days. Since we don't have a ton of stuff going on. So like we're going to go out to the land on Labor Day weekend, or sorry, Memorial Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend?
That's September.
Oh, yeah. Labor Day weekend. And so maybe not having it each of those nights. We're not sure. So we would kind of do more of an announcement thing. It just wouldn't be, we promised to kind of be here every night, and we would essentially rescind that promise. We thought about just breaking it all down to one night and doing like a 2-hour, like crazy, like a trivia night where we have a bunch of different themes depending on the amount of questions and stuff like that. So we've got a few ideas floating around. We'll start discussing it because I think we're going to switch over to something after this next season. So yeah, that is it. Those are all the things. Follow, subscribe, turn on notifications. We're going to post things to social media. A Wasted Hour on Twitter, Another Wasted Hour on Instagram and Facebook, another Wasted group on Facebook as well. And then, we need to do shares and stuff. That's a good idea. Shares and things. Did you already get the shares on Facebook? All right. Shares on Facebook. Let's go check it out. All right. So let's take a look here. Another wasted hour. We can go into this thing. That's just us. One share. One share. Craig gets a point. And then another wasted hour. Shaggy and Trey get points. There it is. Those are the points for tonight. And yeah. So yeah, especially if we start going to more of a schedule thing, we'll obviously kind of post things during the day and let people know if something's not happening or if it is happening. So it might be less every night, and just on particular nights, or whenever we have time. Also podcast. I hope everybody's gone and checked it out. We've been doing this for a bunch of months, partly to spread the word about the podcast. If you haven't checked it out, I'd really appreciate it if you did. If you do appreciate the fact that we've been here for several months trying to help entertain you, go listen to it. And if it's terrible, that's fine. Feel free to walk away from it. You won't I will still be your friend. But I'd love for you to give it a chance. If you do like it, subscribe, give us a review and some stars. We would appreciate that. Anywhere you can get podcasts, just search for Another Wasted Hour. And that's about it, right? Are we announcing a winner? I don't know if we are. There's not really a game that happened, right?
So we'll just keep pink.
Pink it is, if that's what you would like.
I like pink.
Nico says, it's a very funny podcast. You are funny. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Funny looking.
Ha ha!
He's a real comedic genius in this house.
Shaggy would like us to do Family Feud, apparently. New game. All right. So that is it. That's all the things I've got, everybody. So until 7 o'clock tomorrow, where we start a brand new season, we announce the winner of this season. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Please take whatever precautions you need to maintain that. It did look like numbers have been going down, which is really great. So I'm really excited about that, but keep it up, because the way you keep that trend is by doing the right things. And shout out to all the people who have been essential workers through all of this. We appreciate you. And I think it's going to be teachers here soon that are taking that mantle on as well. So I hope everybody stays safe. And so, yeah, until tomorrow, what's the final word of the show?
Consternation.
All right. So hopefully the fact that we're not doing a show today does not cause you too much consternation. Tomorrow, we will be able to be back at 7 o'clock, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.